The Cowboys got an extra fourth-round pick when the NFL announced the compensatory picks for 2019 on Friday, and the NFL Combine kicks off this week, both of which means draft projections will likely get shaken up quite a bit over the coming days and weeks. Luke Easterling of DraftWire.com got one last four-round mock draft in before the shakeup begins and has the Cowboys going largely by perceived need. Here's the Cowboys haul. Round 2, Kaden Smith, TA, Stanford Round 3, Daniel Wise, DL, Kansas Round 4, Isaiah Prince, OT, Ohio State. Their first pick is Kaden Smith. Dallas drafted Dalton Schultz last year out of Stanford. Could they look to Stanford again for another tight end? If they do, BTB's Danny Phantom likes what Smith could do in Dallas. Maybe it's just seeing that beautiful number 82 running around, but it's hard not to get excited when watching film of Stanford's Kaden Smith. But it's the things he does well that draws comparisons to Cowboys great, Jason Witten. He doesn't have blazing speed, but he is excellent at finding creases. He gets off the line quickly and demonstrates great footwork out of his breaks. He wins with technique, not athleticism. Sound familiar? But the list goes on and on with Smith. He has outstanding hands and does a remarkable job of making contested catches. Smith is athletic enough to create mismatches, and he's just the type of underneath target Dak Prescott loves to rely on. And did we mention, he's one of the best inline blocking tight ends in the draft. He just seems like a perfect fit for the Cowboys. Next up is Daniel Wise. With Wise, the Cowboys go to a familiar well for the second time in this draft, as last year's fourth-round pick Dorance Armstrong was also drafted out of Kansas. Wise first caught our attention with a spectacular production ratio of 1.69. Kansas went 6-42 in the 4 years Wise played for the Jayhawks, so that record might just make him drop all the way to the end of the third round and into the Cowboys' lap. His production over the last 2 years, 12 sacks, 28 TFLs, 87 tackles, even if he was playing out of position at the last year, is doubly impressive given that he was probably the biggest threat on a bad Kansas defense and likely received a lot of attention from opposing teams. Tony Pauline of DraftAnalyst.com liked what he saw from Wise in the Week 6 game against West Virginia last year. Wise was unstoppable most of the game and beat blockers off the snap, showed explosion to the action with a great closing burst, and easily moved laterally in pursuit of ball carriers. He's a terrific 3-technique prospect who could end up as a second-day pick. In the fourth, Easterling has the Cowboys picking an impressive physical specimen in OT Isaiah Prince. DraftBlaster.com has the lowdown, possesses all of the rare physical attributes to play offensive tackle at the next level: natural athletic ability, a long frame with a large wingspan, and a strong, well-built frame. There are many questions about his competitiveness. For much of his college career has been up and down, with lack of effort apparent both at the action on the line of scrimmage and down the field as plays progress. However, has tremendous physical gifts, and generally prospects like this do get drafted quite high as teams feel they can turn the light on. Overall, this feels like a perfunctory mock draft to me. It checks off one perceived need after another mechanically without much consideration for the type of players the Cowboys like to draft. All of which leaves the Cowboys with a tight end who is known for his blocking ability, a defensive tackle that weighed in at just 283 pounds. At a shrine game at tackle with questions about his competitiveness, but that's just my impression. What do you think about this haul? 5%, 17 votes, 26%, 89 votes, 43%, 145 votes, 16%, 54 votes, 9%, 32 votes, 337 votes. Total vote now.